platform, Easy Webinar, has allowed me to scale my business with an evergreen webinar that is selling around the world. And I've scaled my business so big, and I could not have done this without Easy Webinar. And number two, the customer service has been outstanding. I worked with both Manasa and Rakesh, and every single time I message them, they get back to me very quickly. Manasa has even gone to the lengths of recording a video. So she goes into my system. She shows me step by step what to click on, what to do. So I got my entire program set up perfectly. And then I had a couple little technical questions, and Rakesh sent me his calendar link, and I was able to hop on live with him. And it was supposed to be a 30-minute session. He went overtime with me just to be able to get me all the way across the finish line. So I just wanted to thank you so much for your love and your support and all of the energy that you've put into this platform. I absolutely love it, and my business will never be the same because of it. Thank you so much. I can
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. If you're coming in or you can hear me, put a one in the chat. Just let me know if you can hear me. Yes, yes. Were you able to watch that video? I'm curious if you were able to watch that video. I just pulled that off the local server just to sort of have that ready to go. One of the cool features of Easy Webinar is you can pull video from your directly right straight away from your desktop and pull it right in without necessarily uploading it, right? So you can do that. Yeah, her sound was pretty low already, so I couldn't really control that, but that was from her recording. But welcome, you guys. I am pumped to have you here. Today, we're going to be doing some fun stuff. You've probably gotten my emails. You have a kind of a sense of what we're going to be doing today. Today, my goal for today is to help you really understand how to create these sales experiences that, number one, help you to indoctrinate your potential prospect, how to meet them. I don't know if any of you guys got any of my emails where I talk about this cycle of dilemma, but meeting people where they are at in their cycle of dilemma, meaning where they're at with the problem that they have that they can't solve, the dilemma that they can't solve, and meeting them where they're at and the level and however desperate they're at or desperate they are for the solution, or however the great the need is for the solution. You want to meet them where they're at, and a really strong way to do that is using the power of a workshop or a webinar to create that experience so that they see where they recognize that, oh, I'm at this point in my cycle of dilemma and I need to solve the problem, right? Now that's what I mean by cycle of dilemma. And on today's workshop, what I'm going to share with you is how you can take a workshop and use it to position and do one of a few things. Number one is indoctrinate and position a webinar that basically can drive them and qualify your prospects into actual customers. And this is going into 2026, guys. This is stuff that you can do today. These are still strategies that are super valuable and things that actually work today going in the future, right? If you've been having a harder time struggling with connecting with people or creating those conversations, especially with AI and AI maybe overburdening some of those issues, then this is going to be a good workshop, because we're going to talk about how webinars can qualify the best prospects. A good presentation also talks about the pain and problem that they have and understands why they may have objections to solving it, or feeling like they can't solve it, or problems that they feel like they just can't figure out how to stop the nagging pain, right? And how you can be there to swoop in and sort of save the day. And it's twofold. One is you are able to now impact this client in a big way, and also and then you win, you get you get a customer, you get a client, right? And so these are the things we're going to be talking about, and how you can use these strategies, very real strategies, going into the next year. Okay, so this workshop is all about how to create, test, and scale high converting webinars that work for any niche. And excuse me, we're going to be basically diving in, and I'm going to first go in to talk about how to use the power of a webinar to and how to basically write a script for webinars that's really going to help you. And then we're going to go into then how you test that, and then how, of course, you scale that. Okay. How many of you are not Easy Webinar customers? I'm curious how many are not. Let's start with the are nots. If you are not an Easy Webinar customer, go ahead. Put a 2 in the chat. That would help me to know. All right, BH James, Katie 2, Mike 2. How many of you, Gary 2, thank you guys. How many of you signed up for a trial already? Let me know. Okay, Leon, thank you guys. I appreciate it. 2 used to be. I see. Okay, cool. Good. It's good to see you back, Jeremy. Trial, Tanner's in a trial. Okay. And the reason I'm asking about a trial is because, no trial. I tried, but it wouldn't let me. Okay. Yeah. Whether you're in a trial or not, this is gonna be a good session for you guys. And let me, as we go through this, let me know how this resonates with you. Okay. So let's dive in. Let's really dive in. And if you notice, there's a poll up. Have you guys started? Go into the poll and let me know. Excuse me, I'm kind of nursing this cough, so I apologize. I've had this cough for like a while. I don't know if you guys like it's the season or something. But how have you wanted to use webinars? Are you thinking generate qualified leads? Maybe you want to sell your program or service. Maybe you want to onboard clients and fulfill your program. Maybe you want to do a high ticket coaching and build that around webinars, or maybe you'd want to do all the above. Go ahead and fill in that fill in that poll. I'd love to get the information there so I can kind of look to see what we have. Leon says, sell my coaching. Awesome. And then do me another solid, please. Just quickly put what industry you're in. I'd love to know. Are you in the health industry, maybe finance? I see a lot of people in health, finance, real estate. We have marketers, that obviously that use us. Science and tech. I love it. Amunet says all the above. Okay, cool. All the above. Dog training and care. That's awesome. Finance, SaaS, Gary. Career coaching, says Tanner. Equity coaching, Fred. That sounds really cool. Yeah, so a lot of you guys are doing like a lot of finance, I love this. B2B sales performance coaching. Awesome. Obviously, webinars and things like this really help with pre-qualifying people on the front end with a workshop that indoctrinates them and then drives them to a sales call. When we did this with several clients, they were able to narrow down their sales team because the webinar did the heavy lifting of indoctrinating, and they put that at the top of their funnel, right? Put that at the beginning of the funnel, right? So it's like a 15-minute workshop they come into. This works for real estate. This works for any financial niche as well. And of course, it works for all the other niches of health and wellness and various things like dog care and training. Again, it's putting a webinar in the front of your funnel to indoctrinate. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour. But the idea of it is that it positions your prospect to know how you can solve their problem. And then by the time you get on the phone with them, you're closing that deal. Okay. So let's dig in. I'm thank you so much for letting me know where you guys are coming in from. And I got this already. Thank you for letting me know. You want to use webinars to sell your products and services, and some of you want to use it as lead generator and also to fulfill your programs, which I think is really cool. So listen, if you've been struggling to sell your programs, coaching service online in the past, this is not your fault. You've been led to believe that selling your program, you need social media and you need to have, invest in content production. Listen, with the world of AI now, there's this whole new world of AI content creation, which I've been sort of delving into, where I'm trying to speed up the process by which I create content without removing the intimacy of me in the content. But the what we tend to find is that content marketing, excuse me, and all those elements can oftentimes be a major distraction. You also see marketing gurus who that want you to think that the value ladder ascension model is the only way to sell to an ice cold lead. Where you have to take them from a simple PDF guide followed up by a $7 or $10 product, and so on and so forth, right? And I'm here to show you that basically you can use one tool and one sales experience method to basically sort of beat all that out and sort of remove the noise that oftentimes happens when we see all the things we think we need to do. So again, this workshop, guys, is going to be for you if you have a skill or certain knowledge or expertise that others value. I think that's true. If you're thinking of building an online course or program or coaching or consulting or mentorship, if you have a solution that impacts lives in a positive way, okay, this is for you. So my goal for this workshop is I'm gonna show you how to leverage webinars to create a predictable flow of revenue and scale beyond 6 figures, okay, in your business, through a workshop, okay. Maybe you're already there. Maybe you're work at 7 figures. Maybe you're even at 8 figures, and you're just trying to line up systems and scalability systems that will help you to basically grow more and to maybe eliminate the work in your business. The power of webinars, the power of Easy Webinar, and power of what we have here is that automation is very powerful, and you might be seeing that with the power of AI and something like automation, like a webinar, you can basically have fewer team members and fewer expenses. And you could basically, there's news out there where companies are doing $100 million and they have like 2 or 3 employees, but they're using systems and they're thinking in these smarter ways. Now, it's not easy to make that switch, but it is a it is a movement that we're seeing, and I think it's about thinking about those things now and starting to implement systems and processes that can eventually get you there, right? So I'm going to share with you the 3-step sales method that has generated millions of dollars for our clients, and how to use it to create basically your webinar. And also we're going to talk about how to position yourself as the industry leader, an expert in your marketplace, and how to choose the right content for your sales webinar to convert maximum amount of sales possible. Okay, that's what we're going to discuss today. All right. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Casey. I'm the founder of Easy Webinar. I kind of consider myself a top engagement and webinar automation specialist. So I love the power of engagement and automation together, right? I geek out about the automation because I want to be able to scale storytelling, but I love the ability to actually tell stories and connect and engage with people on a heart-to-heart level, because that is the power. That is what sales is all about. That is the pure definition, is you need to connect with someone on a heart level. And that is, and if you're not doing that, if you're not doing that in your process, in your sales experience, then you're missing half of the equation. Okay. I not only help people with strategy for clients, like I actually coach people, but I have a software and we've sold well over 14,000. We've had 14,000 plus customers that have come through the system. And I've built and consulted on more than 100 webinars, generating 8 figures in total and more. And I think my superpower, as I just said, is sales and scalability systems that will help business owners so they can work less, create more impact, and make way more money That's my goal for you, because you have something that the world needs. If it's not getting out there, if you're not serving on that higher level, you're doing a disservice. And my goal for you is to get on that higher level, to get out there, really make an impact. And that's my big vision. That's my goal. I want to serve a million business owners like yourself, and have them grow to 7 or 8 figures in their own business so they can make a larger impact into the world. So I have a question for you. Are you selling mid-ticket or high-ticket offer? Go ahead and put this just in the chat right there, guys. Just put, if it's high-ticket, mid-ticket, or both. Okay, just let me know. But yeah, I love it. And Angelica, thank you. Hi. Gary says hi. Katie says both. That's great. Tanner, mid. Very interesting stuff. I love asking this question because there are these are 2 different types of webinars. A lot of the framework is the same that can be applied to a high ticket and a mid ticket, but there's a difference. One actually can have less time devoted to it, and more margins. What's that one going to be? Less time devoted, meaning that there's more margin of error, and the margin of error is you have a larger margin of error because there's larger margins of revenue. What is that? Tell me which one it is. Okay, mid ticket 1997, 6 weeks. That's great. That's kind of like bordering on a high ticket, which I love. This is great. This is great. What is my camera setup? I'm using a Sony camera right here, and we have it hooked up with Easy Webinar. It's a 4K camera. You can use any type of camera. I have my lighting system here, and I have my microphone here. This is a Heil microphone, and all of it can be set up in Easy Webinar. By the way, we're streaming this to YouTube right now because this is another feature of Easy Webinar. We can stream. So I'm going to say right now, typically a high ticket webinar, there's more room for error. It can be shorter. And when you book a call at the end of it, you're not selling anything off the webinar. What you are doing is indoctrinating. So by the time they get on the call, your close ratio can be higher, right? That's something that's very powerful. The harder one is the mid ticket, selling on a mid ticket from a webinar. But on this call, I'm going to show you how you can actually do that, though. I'm going to show you how you can build up to that and the method by which we do it. Okay. Here's the old model. This is what you see typically with a funnel, right? You have the awareness, you have the interest level, desire, and action, right? This is the 4-step method to a funnel, basically. But you always need so many pieces with it, paid ads, social media, articles, PR, content at the awareness. Then you have interest, where you collect their email address through lead magnets for email marketing. You get them to follow up on social and Facebook groups. The desire, you add value through email marketing, Facebook groups, social media. And then the action is finally them taking going to the sales page and actually exchanging the offer for revenue, right? Well, here's the deal. This model can sort of suck because it's a spaghetti thing. It often takes months to move a prospect down from the awareness to action phase. You need to spend almost endless hours of content production to get this right. And you need a funnel for each stage in the flow chart. It's complex. It ends up causing a lot of time, money, troubleshooting every funnel to make it work. It's kind of like the spaghetti funnel, thing that happens. And connecting each funnel to the main stage means it's going to become complex, and you'll, as I said, end up with this spaghetti sort of funnel here, right? And this thing can take more than 2 months to perfect. So in my opinion, I'm trying to speed up your process. I'm trying to speed up your success here. So you don't need a complex marketing funnel. You need a fast, simpler process, sales process. And that's where we have just the 4-step system, right? We have an ad that drives people to a registration page. This is what's so funny. I see people changing this method all the time. They're excuse me. They're trying to do lead magnet. They're trying to go direct to sale. They have this perception that because this has been something that's worked in the past, that it's not going to work now. And so they try everything else. And then they come back to this flow and they realize that, oh, having an ad that drives people to a registration page, where I'm maybe spending 10, 20, $30 on a registration, I can't get numbers like that anymore on Facebook. This is the truth of it. This method is probably still the strongest and most powerful method out there for driving traffic, right? Drive them to a registration page where you highlight the pain that they're experiencing, the solution that the workshop is going to have, and maybe a worksheet that they can download, that when they come to the workshop, right? So again, and then of course you have email follow-ups, text reminders. They come to the workshop. At the end of the workshop, you make a particular offer. We are going to have a particular offer here, guys, today. It's going to be an amazing one, too. If you're not an Easy Webinar customer, this is going to be pretty cool at the end. But then you make your offer and you sell people in to your program and you get them results, right? It takes a prospect a particular level of desire and certainty to financially commit to something. And, the power of a webinar is that if you're trying to sell anything over $200, a webinar does the trick. If you're, yes, you could do a lead magnet for $7, but oftentimes, you're going to be spending more on that. But if your price points are higher, your margins are higher, again, there's more room for error, as I said, so you could spend more on your ads and get better results. Okay. Now, I'm telling you this from experience. Webinars changed my life. If you don't know my story, I started as a course creator all around YouTube. I started doing YouTube marketing only after I had some crazy thing where I was in real estate. And, when the market crashed, the recession hit, this is dating myself. I went from having a great job to almost making no money. I almost went into foreclosure. And I almost went into foreclosure twice in my house. But then I started to I felt like this pressure to actually not like just fold. So I kept the house. I was able to modify my loan. I started bridging into trying to figure out how to build leads online, and it took me into YouTube, and that's where I fell in love with video and the connectivity that video has. And so I was one of the first video marketers out there. I was doing video marketing. I was working as basically the agency model, but it wasn't scalable. So I built a course, and I spent a year building a course all about YouTube. But when I finally launched it, no one would buy it. It was only until I started using what I heard about through the grapevine of webinars. And when I started doing webinars, which I sucked at, by the way, I was terrible at doing webinars. I just started doing free no pitch webinars just to get good at doing webinars. And eventually people wanted to buy something. They were saying to me, "Hey, Casey, this is great. Do you have something I can actually purchase?" And I was like, "Yes, I have this course. What do you think? How much would you pay for it?" And they, people say like, "Oh, wow, it's pretty awesome. Okay, I'll pay 97." And it helped me to figure out what kind of pricing I needed to land at. And eventually I took that 97 price point for that same course became $997 based on the value that I got, based on the value that other people received from it. And in that first year of running a course, I sold, I did $245,000 of that course, all from webinars. Webinars were the one thing, absolutely the one thing that allowed me to sell anything online. Okay. Hands down, it's been the one thing that's actually made the difference. Okay. Whether it's live webinars that like what we're doing here, whether it's automated webinars that scale up 24/7 that you've dialed in, and we're going to come on to that. They've just been the biggest thing for me. So why should you do webinars? Well, you can basically warm up your audience from cold to hot when they spend time with you. You eliminate technical overwhelm from complex funnels so you can become ultra profitable with your marketing. Your ideal customers come to you in masses, and you start making more sales and helping more people who need your product, all while working less and spending more time on higher level leverage actions in your business. And the power of live webinars and automated webinars, they're both very needed in business. And I'm going to talk to you about that today. So a great sales webinar, by the way, provides tremendous amounts of value, educates your target audience based on their desires, positions you as the authority, and targets those who are already ready to buy right now, okay, and converts customers in mass versus the one-to-one, right? It's the one-to-many idea of selling, right? When you could do a live webinar, that's the first level, and then the next level is when you can sell 24/7. So basically, guys, you are just one sales webinar away from having it all. And I hear this a lot. Will webinars work in my niche? Basically, if you solve a problem for anyone, then it will work for your niche, right? We have people that are pickleball, have online courses around pickleball. There's a company that uses us that has a project management exam program. The pickleball online course, they did 200K in sales. They all from webinars. Um, uh, the project management exam program, he did 16,000 in just one webinar. A child development program, they did 16,800 in just one webinar. A chef that has a basically they train you online different recipes, and 49,580 in 2 months. Again, this works for so many different niches. And so what we're going to do is we're going to jump into secret number 1. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump in. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I think just want to make sure that I'm coming in clear. Fred, your internet might be cutting out. That could be why you get a glitch possibly. Okay, cool. So here's how we're going to go. Secret number 1 is how to write a high converting sales webinar that creates a viral checkout rush for your product or service. Okay. Here's the problem. Most people don't know how to structure a webinar or any piece of content that sells. Okay. And I want to be clear on this. There's some differences here, right? I'm gonna show you what I mean by this. Experts love to share and teach. Here, I'm a perfect example. When I started doing this, I was an oversharer. I would just give the farm away. I would tell everybody about what I have. I would do so much to basically just I wouldn't hold anything back. And because I felt like, oh, to be able to provide value, I can't leave anything out. I have to basically vomit all the information that I have in my brain out to you so you know that I have value and I want to give you value, because we want to give value, right? And I totally get that. And I it's so hard for me not to just give you so much of the content that I know in my brain. But I do, but here's the reason why I know that's not going to help you totally. Here we go. See, teaching too much will confuse your prospect, and a confused mind does not buy. Okay. Um, and it's like I kind of think about, like, if you're a calculus teacher, right? And you're teaching something like dense like calculus, and you're like, in this workshop I'm gonna cram in 10 years of experience as someone who's understands calculus, and from the rudimentary all the way to the advanced, and I'm going to give it all to you in a 1-hour presentation, right? Your brain would be fried if that was the case, right? So again, like that's not going to be helpful for you at all, right? So that's secret number 1. Okay. And here is the 3-part webinar sales method. Okay. You're going to find, okay, and we're here's what we're talking about still. I just want to be clear. All right. We're talking about writing a high converting sales webinar. Okay. The first part of this is these 3 parts right here. You start with authority and building rapport. Okay. You're going to make a connection with them. You're going to engage with them on a heart-to-heart level. You're going to welcome them to the workshop, get them excited about what they're going to talk about, what you're going to be discussing. This is where you use the power of expectation and anticipation as to what they're going to get. Okay. Now, that's the beginning part. The middle part of your workshop is you're going to be breaking false belief patterns with content, okay? Psychological content, okay? And part 3 of this method is you're going to exchange the irresistible offer, okay? basically this is the 3-step method. Okay. All right. Here's how psychological webinar content works. Okay. So as I said, you're going to, so here we're going to focus on part 2. Okay. Part one, part one is the easy part. This is where you're just building rapport. You're going to let them know of what they can expect on the workshop, close out distractions, get them ready, maybe do a poll in the front, find out who they are, and more about them, and then lead into the content part. Okay. And this is what we're going to, this is the content part right here. Part 1 in this psychological content, this is the framework. This is the meat of it, right? Step 1 is introduce the framework of your main product or service. We all have a framework, right? You have a framework if you are, I know you guys talked about what you were doing. And like Leon is a B2B sales performance coach. He probably has a framework, or Lisa, health and nutrition. You probably have a framework. Amunet, you probably have a stress relief life coaching framework as well, right? So that is what you introduce, right? Part 2 is answer their number one biggest and logical objection to the above framework. Typically, it's an internal belief about their own ability to execute on the framework itself, right? Like I don't have enough time, or like I'm not smart enough, or things like that. Part 3 is then answer the second biggest and logical objection to the above framework. Typically, it's an external false belief where they blame something else for a reason of not executing, right? And here I'm going to give you an example, right? This goes back to that child psychologist that I talked to you about. So here's their webinar, right? Starts with how to understand and mimic the basic movements of a first-year-old child is the key to improving their behavior and learning challenges. That's the secret, right? How understanding and mimicking the basic movements of a first-year-old child is the key to improving their behavior and learning challenges. Secret number 2 is how to get any child to follow the brain development movement, right? Okay, again, this is that internal, right? Internal false belief. Yeah. Like, I can't get my child to do this. That's the false belief internally. Secret number 3 is how even the busiest of mom and dads can find time to implement the framework. So if we go back, the third, part 3 is external false beliefs where they blame something else. And that in this example is time, right? I'm busy. I work 9 to 5. How am I going to be able to find the time to have my kids go through this, right? And so you can see that, you can see that this is the system, right? Okay. This is the example of the 3 secrets. Okay. So you can see here, we're literally flipping the sales conversation on its head, right? And this is the difference between selling a $20 product on Udemy versus selling a product at $997 all the way to $10,000 through webinars. Selling transformation. That's what you're doing, right? So a transformational product is an offer stack that comprises of both information and tools that not only execute the framework, but also helps them get over their internal and external disbeliefs. This will give your customers the shortest route to the results. What's the difference between selling a product, and I asked this earlier, that's mid-ticket versus high-ticket? Well, if you're selling a mid-ticket offer, your offer selection is designed to get your attendees to pull out their credit cards and make the purchase. If you're selling a high ticket that's above $2,000, you take them through an application process, and they go through, and basically you're saying, I only work for X amount with X amount of people. If you want to be considered, book a call, talk to a strategist, and here we go, right? These are 2 different webinars that work really well off of 2 different offers that work really well from a webinar. Again, the mid-ticket is a little more challenging. It's harder because it takes a bit more of really understanding the psychology and then getting into the pitch, right? So how does this work for you? If you want to generate leads, webinars, a great way to do it. You sell your online courses, close high-ticket clients through applications. Sell your physical products or books. Here's a really cool way to do it by shrinking this 3-part formula into a 15-minute VSL. You don't have to have an hour-long presentation. You can have just the content part, the psychological part, as a VSL, and you could be selling your physical product or books through that, right? And actually, we've seen people that have used webinars to sell their books. They've packaged like 10 books as a bundle, right? And then they launch those out. We've seen New York Times bestsellers do this via webinars, via workshops, right? One major player did this recently. Alex Hormozi made $150 million selling his books, but the way he did it is he bundled his books, sold them as $1,000, $5,000 packages of you getting 100 books or whatever it was, plus coaching. And he had to do that from a workshop, right? That's how he did it. So again, workshops work, and we got to see what it looked like on a high level like that. And when you understand this content, you understand how to apply this content, it can work in many different ways. So yes, from a VSL to selling on stage, So again, these things can work and work wonders. Now let's dig into secret number 2, which basically is how to test your webinar and scale it using automation. Okay. So again, remember I talked about one of my friends who runs a child education organization. They sell a program that gives the information, tools, and support that parents need to overcome their child's behavioral and learning challenges. Okay. Now he'd been doing live webinars for more than 3 months, and that's how he was selling his program, because that's a really powerful way to do it. And I recommend it for anyone doing it. But despite him making a profit month over month, the one thing that always bothered him was that his webinar conversion rate was never improving. It was not bad. It was just not improving, right? It always remained the same. He was making around 5K consistently on all his webinars so far, which again, not bad at all. I don't think, but he wasn't hitting 10%. He wasn't hitting a 10% with every single webinar he was running. We knew he could do much better. So he came to me and asked me for advice on how I think he could help improve his webinar conversion rate and hence improve the sales numbers. So I asked him this question. I said, how many times do you ever export the chat from the webinar attendees and look for their objections and concerns? Do you do that ever? And when I asked him that, he was like, I've never bothered to read it. So he was basically getting the data. The data was there, but he never actually bothered to go through it. So we spent a few hours together downloading and reviewing the questions and comments the audience left on all the webinars he had done thus far. And we were able to see 6 or 7 places where we could tell people were really kind of confused with the slides, or the offer wasn't clear, right? So we went back to our slides, added in new things to make sure people's questions were answered before they actually asked them. Okay. This is basically handling objections earlier in the workshop, right? But because we know the objections, because we've seen a few of them come through different webinars, now you're taking that same data, and now you can sort of preemptively be ready to handle that objection. And what happened next surprised my client even more. He had his live webinar in a few days after that, and he doubled his conversion rate on his webinar. Imagine if he had done this for every live event. He could have easily quadrupled his total sales of the webinar that he had done for the last 3 months. He was kicking himself for a little bit after discovering this. So that's what we see, but we don't see people actually applying this. And here's the problem with many experts. What most people do is they create what they think is a good presentation, record it once, and then put it into their funnels as an automated webinar or as a VSL. And you can do that, but the problem is that if you haven't perfected it, you have no idea what people's real objections are. Only if you do a live webinar a few times, at least you'll know what the objections are that are holding your prospects from converting. It's like a hinge that swings a big door. you see the difference between a 10% conversion and a 15% conversion is the difference between 7 and 8 figures. Okay. So being able to do these micro conversions are huge. But if people aren't doing what I call the webinar sprint method, which is this, if you're not doing webinar sprint method, you're not getting as clear as you can on solving the problem of your offer issue, right? You probably have and not just an offer issue, but more so a messaging issue, or you just can't solve the problem. Like I know people that go straight into trying to do an automated webinar, and they're wondering why they may have good registrants. Maybe they see people coming in, and that's great, but then the webinar isn't landing. Like it's missing something, but they haven't bothered to run live webinars to see what that thing is that's missing. You can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid for things not to work. Like we're in a live webinar and anything can go wrong. Like the internet could cut out, my lights could cut out. Someone could, my wife could suddenly run in and say, "There's a fire. We got to go." I could have a coughing fit. The cat could climb up my leg and jump on my head. There's so many different things that can go wrong, or there are so many things that that are variables, and you can't be afraid of those variables. You can't be afraid to let those things happen. I can't be afraid to make an offer to you guys to see if that offer actually resonates with you or not, right? If we are always afraid of figuring out the solution by failing forward, we're never going to have the solution. So this method is designed for you to, and I like how Drew put it, most people suck at webinar. It helps you, it allows you to say, "I suck, but I'm still going to do it." Just raise your hand, say, "I suck, but I'm still going to do it." And that is the power of it, right? If you can still push through here, you can have a winner. And that's what most people don't want to do. They don't want to put the work in. They also don't want to face the pain, but you have to sometimes face that pain. Okay. So the webinar sprint method is a method by which you just run live webinars over and over again, right? You see what works. You go back to the data. You download the chat. You look at the results, right? And you see basically what works and what does not work. Okay, and you let the information, and especially like Easy Webinar, by the way, guys, was built for this. Easy Webinar, you can run live webinars, and you can run that same webinar week by week by week by week, right? Schedule just like one webinar scheduled every single week, right? Run it live, okay? And then look at the data. You can go into the analytics, look at the data, the drop off, look at the chat, and see what trends are happening. And then after all that, you can turn what was once live, that live webinar, into an automated webinar. Okay, basically clone it and turn it into an automated funnel that streams in real time with the experience of live, so that you can drive traffic to it, ads to it, and you've perfected it. Okay, the webinar sprint method is the way to go. Promote you, and this is what a window of promotion looks like. Okay, I want you to think about this. This is what a window of promotion. Okay, and you do this, as I said, you do this 5 to 10 times. I know I say 4 times, but you probably need 5 to 10 times. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you promote your webinar. Thursday, you run your live webinar. Friday, you send a replay out. Saturday, you also have the replay, right? And then Sunday, the offer and the replay are expiring. If you run this simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 week of content, right? This one funnel, one webinar funnel every single week, you get better at it, make micro adjustments here and there, add a little more urgency, change the offer a little bit. Once you get really good at it, you will see results. And if you do this 4 to 10 times, you will be ready at that point to now move to the next phase. And that next phase is taking that same webinar and putting it into an automated webinar system. And the good news is Easy Webinar does it automatically for you. You don't need 2 different softwares. You don't need to run live webinars with Zoom and then and then somehow take the video and build out a whole complete webinar funnel. No, Easy Webinar can clone the live webinar, all the emails, all everything, all the follow-up pages, all the design you put into it, and clone the whole thing and schedule it as an automated webinar. How many is that? Does that sound, how's that sound for you? Does that sound nice? Let me know if that sounds nice to you. You know, if that's a time saver, please do let me know. So that is where we dive in to automated webinars. And an automated webinar is a pre-recorded video streamed in real time. And the awesome thing about an automated webinar is that you create it once and it works for you over and over again. An automated webinar, by the way, can be scheduled in your attendees' local time zone. So if you have a worldwide audience, that means you get more leads and sales. And an automated webinar allows you to create your perfect presentation, create a full-blown successful funnel built around engagement, okay? Engagement and automation, right? Those are my geeky things that I love. A good automated webinar system can stream an event in real time with the look and feel of being live and in your attendees' time zone. And they're way more valuable than just replay videos, okay? The difference is that a replay is something anyone can watch at any time, which takes no commitment and often is treated as such. An automated webinar is a streamed event, right? Is a streamed event that they can't fast forward or rewind. And if they come late to it, they're missing some of it. So it has a sense of urgency, right? Same as a live webinar. Awesome. Karen says, I love my Easy Webinar, automated webinar. Thanks, Karen. I've never run Evergreen. That's why I'm here. Yeah, but Drew, sounds like you've had some good results. But yeah, it's time to go Evergreen. I think once you get results like that, it's time to go Evergreen. You know, here's Jason. You know what he did with our system? He did what we call a simulated live event, and that is setting up a one-time automated webinar that is kind of like live, meaning that it's set in one time zone. And he doesn't have it running 24/7. It's not like you come to the page and there's 4 different options. He had one option at one time in one time zone. You come to it and boom, people came to it, and he made 14,000 just from that one webinar. Now with Easy Webinar, you can do these simulated live events. It's like Simulive is another word for it, or like live experience, where they're pre-recorded sessions that you can actually have a live chat. Like, just imagine if this was a chat where I wasn't responding to your chat verbally, but I was typing it out. That would be an example, because this could be the same experience that a like live or simulated live event could have, right? Now, it's not. This is live, and you're going to know it's live because I'm talking to you, Gary, and you, Alina, and you, Drew, and you guys know it's live. But this is one of the things you could do. And we've had customers like Amy Porterfield, or actually we've had Gabby Bernstein, Jay Shetty run these massive one-time Simulive events and have had huge results, right? They get like 5,000 registrants into it, and it's really big numbers, right? And typically they want to do that because they're hedging against anything that could happen with high volume and tech, right? So they want to make sure that a webinar is not going to fold on itself, and they also don't want to deal with the tech headache of a live webinar. So they oftentimes will do this. Now, the power of Easy Webinar is that you can do up to 50,000 attendees coming into Easy Webinar. And it's pretty cool stuff for live webinars. But again, sometimes they like the idea of not having to deal with the tech. They've already tested live several times. They know what's going to work, and they put it into a Simulive, right? And that could be the first step for you. Once you go live, you could test out a one-time Simulive event, which is pre-recorded, see how that goes, and then move into the sell 24/7 deal, right? And we've had these clients who've used this. Jason Caruso, as I said, he did 14,000. I have a misspelling here. Diane did 4,000 to 5,000 a month from actually having like automated webinar funnels as training on her website. She actually had a health and wellness website, and she had experts that had different workshops. And so she would have these automated webinars where they would be free, but people would pay for access to her program. So she was using Easy Webinar as a fulfillment tool, where she had all these training workshops as a part of the program. You pay $5,000, you get into the program. And then Kimberly Luna used Easy Webinar for live webinars, and she did 900,000 in 1 year using the same system. And this stuff works in any industry. We've had people in the religious niche where this Joshua actually used Easy Webinar as the backbone to his business for recruiting people into his congregation. Go figure, right? Amazing. Works in the real estate niche. Terry Hunter, he had the thrill of a homeowner coming into his webinar from his ebook. So he had an ebook on Amazon. In the footer of the ebook, he had his link to his workshop. Okay. If you have books, think of this, put a link to your workshop. All right. In the footer, in the book, maybe a QR code that they can scan and go to the workshop. By then going to the workshop, you get the lead, right? They're already reading your book. They're kind of warmed up. Easy sell to get them into the book or get them into the workshop. Get them into the workshop. He drove people. It was a short workshop, 15-minute. Drove them to his Calendly link, where then he got on the phone with them and he closed this deal. It was a $1 million property, and that same person referred him to his neighbor that was had another property at 1.9 million list for a $1.9 million listing, right? And so this stuff works, and it works in any niche because it's an asset. It's a marketing tool and an asset. And once you have it and you leverage it and you drive traffic to it, it can work for you over and over again. Okay. Here's Bob Proctor, who used our system. He actually did two things. He created a automated webinar, short automated webinar that pitched people into the second automated webinar, right? And that second automated webinar, he sold, right? So he actually did a paid workshop. And with Easy Webinar, by the way, we have paid workshops that are be coming in very soon. So you can actually, sell a workshop for $47 or whatever. You can also run a workshop, pitch on the end, an offer, and then that offer can be a workshop. And that's the brilliance of it. You don't need a course platform oftentimes to sell your stuff. All you need is a platform that can do like what Easy Webinar can do, which is all the things you see in a webinar. It can be recorded and created. Basically, this is all a content portal that you can use for your customers. You can use for your clients, right? Build out one webinar. You know what you could do? You could run 6 weeks of workshops as your course and program. You could actually pre-launch and pre-sell people into a program maybe you haven't even started yet. Maybe you have a program that you have in your head and you want to get it out. And remember when I told you it took me a year to build my first course? My second course only took me 3 weeks, because what I did with that second course is I had the idea in my head, and what I did is I pre-sold 20 people into it. And then I used webinars, Easy Webinar, to run a 4-week training, right? I sold it for $1,000. And then I did 4 weeks of training all around this. And the power of this was that I was running them live. And by running them live with a webinar, now I could actually I could actually validate my program because I was training people and I was seeing the things they needed versus the things they didn't, the things they needed versus what I thought they needed, right? And so I got them better results because I could pivot and say, I see that you need this solution. I'm going to focus on that. By doing that, I not only created a better program for my course that could end up in a Teachable or Thinkific or some other page build, program platform like Kajabi or Membership.io, but I aligned the content correctly because I ran it live. I then got testimonials because I ran it live and got them results. So you can see the power of webinars is not just like doing sales webinars, but fulfilling on a course or program that you may want to be building or have built, right? How many of you have a mentorship program in your brain that you haven't launched yet? Maybe you have a mid-ticket, low ticket, and you want to create a high ticket, but you haven't launched it because you're not sure how to get the momentum on it. Is there anyone here like that? Let me know. Let me know. Alina says yes. So that's good to know, Alina, because I think I have a training that I actually sent an email out to, which is all about how to do this, how to validate a course. I have an Evernote file that has a lot of this information in it, how to launch and pre-launch a program using webinars, and then webinars to fulfill the program, and then and build up case studies, build up the right content that's really going to help your people, and testimonials and things like that, validating all of it, pricing all of it, and then you put it into a membership site at the end of all of that. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. It's like, especially when you're trying to figure out what kind of content do you need to do. You don't need to pre-create content. Do it live, pre-sell it, do it live, and run it for people, and figure out the need that they have, and align that. That's really what you do, right? Again, we've had a lot of people come through. You guys rock. You're always adding new function. I love Easy Webinar. Just ran my first auto webinar last week, made 8,000. Tanya, Eliza, I run 2 successful automated webinars for the last 2 years, and about a month ago, we were scrambling to find a new platform because our old one was giving us major grief. We were losing money. I bought Easy Webinar last year. It didn't have everything it needed, so we put it on the back burner and waited to see if we get the features. Casey said they were coming, but I needed to wait. Not only did Casey and the team create features we needed, but they have some of the best support I've ever seen in the space. We finally have everything moved over to Easy Webinars, running perfectly, so much better than before. No complaints of streaming issues or anything. Our revenue has increased too. It's great to be aligned with you guys. Thank you so much for caring about your clients. Now you have, so let's get back to this. Now you have the webinar presentation written down. You have the framework to test. But the question is, you could be asking is, how do I build the webinar system without being bogged down by technology, which I hate doing, right? The secret number 3 is building the entire webinar system inside Easy Webinar in 10 minutes, right? And maybe this is what you used to have to do. You had to have an autoresponder, a live webinar hosting solution, landing page builder, Zapier, an automated webinar software, web programmer, webinar moderator. Well, with Easy Webinar, you don't need any of that stuff, okay? It's all pre-done for you. And I think what I'm going to do, let's see, what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to go in and quickly show you. Now, I'm going to actually do this live. Okay, I'm going to do this live. So I'm going to bring you guys in here. All right, and show you basically what Easy Webinar is all about. Okay, so you guys can get a sense of what it is and what you could do with it. All right. Let's see, where did I put you? 1 second. All right, here. Let me pull me back up. Hey. There I am. I'm going to just share the screen. Yeah, here we go. All right, you should see my screen. And this is Easy Webinar. It knows that I'm live, as you can see right up at the top. And listen, if you need to zoom in, let me just see if I can give you guys is that better? Can you see better when I do that? Do a full view. So Easy Webinar works in this way. Basically, when you go through, you're creating the webinar of your choice. Now, if you're wanting to do a live webinar, you start the process. And this is the one I always recommend starting with. Automated is when you have the simulated live webinar, and automated gold is where you scale it 24/7. Okay. So, but let's just do a quick build out of a live webinar. My awesome webinar, right? Scheduling. I'm going to have it on a specific date. I'm going to have it on the 24th at 1 p.m. In my time zone. I'm going to do, I am Pacific Standard. There we go. Next, I'm going to choose my template. Now, with Easy Webinar, we're very different than other platforms. We have a full page builder tool, right? It's not just like it's not just like it's not just like little things. It's big stuff. Like you can build out a full template. We have all these different templates for agency, coaches, education, health and wellness, lead magnet, marketing, and my templates are cool because these are templates that I save after I build them, right? So you can actually save your templates after you build them, right? And again, like you can select all these different high converting templates. Like here's one that, if you're, let's say you're in the health and wellness niche, here's one. Now, with these, you can do a lot. You could change the images, as you can see here. You could change the headline. Everything is drag and drop editable. You could do so much with it, right? You can basically build this yourself. All the functionality, all the features. You can edit this in mobile and desktop. So you have two different editing options. And not a lot of platforms allow this. Most platforms, they just have desktop. But with us, you can edit both desktop and mobile. Okay. And it's just really cool. So, and the features that you can add, like, as you can see here, we have the countdown timer. These are different elements you can add. You can add like a webinar schedule. You could use a pop-up button as the for the webinar. You have the registration form. You could add bullet points, different paragraphs. You could start to write out more content. Headline 1 and headline 2 for your top headlines. You could add video, images, the whole works. Okay. And if you ever want to change the template, like you don't want that one, you can go back into a simpler template. Like this is the chill template right here. This template, you guys have it right now. You could get this going straight away. So how to create awesome webinars with Easy Webinar. Okay, so there we go. That I basically have this already populated the schedule. Remember, I already said when I wanted it to happen. This already populates the registration form, right? So now I can save that. Right. And now if I wanted to, I could edit all the different pages in the webinar. So thank you page, I could change this around. This is what the thank you page could look like. And you could just change around all the different pages, right? And it's very cool. So so you basically publish, and now let me just quickly show you. You close. And now your webinar is built, because here's the thing. Once you have a webinar reg page, it builds out all the pages. So thank you page, waiting room area, web page, as I mentioned, right? Plus we pre-populate notifications. So we're giving you welcome email, welcome reminders. You can then build out follow-ups. Okay. This doesn't take much time at all. You can have like one or two that are that go to people that show versus no show. So that's what's cool about this, is that you can send to emails to everyone, people that missed the webinar or attended the webinar. This is where this can take the place of your CRM system. Another cool thing. So you could just build that, boom, save. Okay. All right. Now close. Okay. So I just added one. And another cool thing, excuse me, is that if you want to get more dialed in with your follow-up emails, you can base your follow-up emails on actions performed in the workshop. We call these power follow-ups. So if people left early, you can say that, let's say they left within 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, right? You can have a specific message for them based on that action. Maybe they missed the offer. Which offer? Well, if you have more than one offer, you can select which offer and then say, hey, I saw that you didn't download that freebie I had for you. Right? Does that make sense? You can also say, send something to the people that clicked on an offer. and which offer, right? So you can say, hey, I saw that you clicked the offer, but you didn't buy. What's up? Do I smell bad? Well, tell me what's wrong. So you can have these different times. Italy is 7 hours ahead of me. It's 2 p.m. here in Chicago. What times does it show in Italy right now? Oh, I don't know. What time would it show? Is there a just in time? Yes, I haven't gotten there yet, but we're still on the webinar build out for a live webinar, right? So we do all that. We built that. Yeah, let me just end that. We built the live webinar, right? Maybe we've integrated it with our favorite CRM system too. So you can drive all the leads into whatever platform you want to use. Maybe you have HubSpot or Go High Level or Active Campaign or Drip or Kit, ConvertKit, yes, but Kit. We have all these integrations, Pardot, for Salesforce, Entreport, Mailchimp, so you can add all these things track, by the way. So let me just quickly show you how kind of all this stuff works. So when you add an action in, I can make sure people, like, I can add these tags. So all this stuff is pushed into my CRM, right? Who's registered, who attended, who missed, who watched the replay, who didn't watch the replay, who joined the webinar after 5 minutes, who left the webinar before, who left the webinar before 2 minutes, 2, 3, 4. You see, all this data can be pushed into your CRM, and you can meet them where they're at, basically, because when you meet them where they're at, you can close the sale, right? Yes, you can use Kajabi, and we have the way people use Kajabi with our system, right? Excuse me, right now, is they use they use where is it? Zapier. And you can find your Zapier integrations, by the way, here. Let me just quickly flag this up. So in integrations, you'll see you have your CRM, your email marketing, your Zapier, and things like what we call EasyCast, which is what we're doing now, which is streaming this event into YouTube. That's what EasyCast can do. So you can stream into YouTube, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is coming, but YouTube, LinkedIn, Meta, like those things, right? So it's pretty cool stuff. Now you've run your webinar, you've done your live webinar. Okay, cool. But now let's say you've done your live webinar, you've gotten some results. Now you're ready to make it automated. Here's what you do. You click clone this webinar, clone my awesome webinar. Do you want to go where you do it as a simulated live event, which is just automated? Or do you want to go all the way to doing a 24/7 workshop where you have features like just in time and things like that? Just what do you think? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go all the way. Let's say I've tested this and I want to drive it to an automated gold, and I basically I want to do the sell 24/7 stuff. Okay? Check this out. So you see it's cloning, it's building the everything. Now, I haven't truth be told, I haven't really built this out, right? So so there's things I'm going to have to fill in, but here we go. So it's created this full webinar. The pages are still the same, okay? Right here, the pages are all the same that I built, and the emails would all be the same. But now the difference is you can now schedule it. So for automated webinars, guys, for evergreen webinars, they are cool because they are things that you can schedule that sell 24/7. And this is where you drive traffic to your workshops, okay? So as an example, a just-in-time webinar is a webinar that can start in the next 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour, okay? And they're powerful because they're instant. Now, they're not as instant as this sucker right here, Instant Replay. If you've ever wanted to have an instant on-demand event, that's what this is. Watch this instant on-demand replay. What this is basically if you just have this selected as the only thing, okay, as the only thing, what will happen on the registration page, it will say, join this on-demand workshop streaming right now. You click it, it goes right into the replay experience where you can have a countdown timer at the top where it says only 3 days or 5 days left to watch this. So if you've been wanting a platform that does these specific things like hybrid, on-demand workshops, just-in-time workshops, or what we allow also is recurring schedule. And we are one of the only platforms that allow you to do what's called schedule stacking. Schedule stacking is where you can turn all these babies on. You can have a just-in-time workshop as an option, an instant replay as a workshop as a time, and you can actually choose multiple times as well. And it can all be from the same registration page, right? Watch. Let me just share you with it. Let me just show you that. What's the benefit of this? Well, I'll tell you. If you want to figure out what makes the most sense for your audience, you could test out different flows. Like, as an example, if I wanted to see if people just from the registration page, if they were more opting for just in time versus instant replay versus recurring schedule, I might test it out and then turn these two off because I see that the majority of people are doing this, right? Yeah, they can't share the replay. They can't, everything is housed within EasyWebinar. This is not, they can't share the replay. They can't share any of the video content. It is all locked down. And anyway, so you can create all those sessions, right? And then I'll go into my settings and I can decide what's going to show. Okay, on the settings, this is where you can decide how many of those scheduling options are shown. So like, check it out. I could just do display just in time and instant replay, but I added all those other available sessions. So here's what I'm going to do. Display next 5 available sessions plus just in time plus instant replay. This is really friggin' cool. And the reason is because it gives you more flexibility of understanding and testing out what works and what doesn't. Okay. Block days. Listen, if you want to black out like, Christmas or any holidays, high holidays, whatever you have, you could do that here. Okay. Now we update the schedule. Okay. Now what we do is we have to add in a webinar video. Now this is where it gets really cool. Like, because an automated webinar, guys, remember you have to preload it with a video. So, or like, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing about it. It's a streamed event. So here's what's super cool. You can either add a new video that you download to your desktop, or you can select one of your friggin' past sessions of your workshop. You can go into your recordings, grab a past session, your best one, and use that as your webinar. Are you hearing me, guys? As your workshop. And now that video is selected. Okay. And now you basically start to build your call to action buttons all around this, right? So guys, we do this for live webinars and automated webinars where you can add, call to action buttons. You can add image offers. You can have them show up. When it's an automated webinar, you can have it show up, right away in the first 4 seconds, and you can have it go away within 11 minutes, right? And this is for internal use. So this could be access to my ebook, right? Image URL. This is where you send them maybe to your Casey Zeman at book, right? So you send them to where you want them to go. You could even have a countdown timer on here that they only have this 10 minutes to get it, right? And this could be the thing you put at the front of your workshop, shows up the first 4 seconds, leaves at 11 minutes. You can align whatever you say in your workshop to what you make your offers or polls. Do you hear that? You can align whatever you say in your workshop, and you can create the experience as if it's live. Can I do live webinars for myself only and then use that as upload? Yes, of course. That's the power of this, right? And again, like, that's the thing about this tool. This is a very unique tool that basically is designed to help you create a better sales experience and know the data, be able to go back into the data and see what works and what doesn't, right? And no, Zoom does not do this. And most any webinar platform you're looking at does not do these things. Okay. Easy Webinar solely alone does these things. Okay. So anyway, you can have different options for your chat. I think I'm just going to save that. We do have what's called simulated chat, where you can preset a chat experience to go along with your evergreen webinar. I'm not going to do that right now. And so, yeah, we've built that out. We've made the integration. That's still with us there. For the replay page, I'm going to enable it. And what's cool about the replay page is that you can just have the experience. You can have the replay content be a webinar replica. And what that means is whatever you've set for your live webinar experience, even if it's a pre-recorded event, by the webinar replica of the replay will do all the same things. So if you put an offer at the first 5 minutes of the workshop, this will do the same thing. But if you want to create a different replay experience after the workshop, a use case of this would be where sometimes people will have like an hour and a half long workshop, but on the replay, they want to trim it down. So they'll maybe go for just an hour. And on the replay, they might show the offer to buy earlier, right? Because, because they're setting it up and saying, this is not the same as the live event experience. This is a replay, right? I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys aren't too confused and understand that an automated event, an evergreen event, those are the actual events. A replay is the thing that happens after that scheduled event, right? A replay is an open page that they can go to at any time. You can send it out to anyone, but also the people that register for the workshop, they'll get notifications, right? Follow-up notifications that will say, hey, thank you for coming in. That was awesome. But now, here's, if you missed some of the event, watch our workshop, right? So you could say, did you miss the event? Here is the replay, right? Play. Right? And then you go into this right here. These are short codes. And you can basically then take the replay short link, right? And it will add it in for you. Here it is down here. Let me grab that. Well, hold on one second. Okay. Save. But you can build this out. Actually, we could probably do it this way. Oh yeah, that added it to the bottom. Okay. Sorry, I took us out of there. But that basically is what you do, right? So you create the notifications, okay? And everything is now ready to go. So now you now have an automated webinar that basically is a clone of the other webinar. Now let's go check out the registration page so we can check it out, take a look at it. Okay. Share this tab instead. So now you see the event, right? How to create awesome webinars with Easy Webinar. And you can see that we have all these different options. Watch this instant on-demand replay. This is the just in time showing the 12:30. These are the future sessions, 4, 8, 11, 4, 8, and then it would be 11 if I chose that, right? But if I go with the instant on demand, and I just register, and I think I did this correctly. So now it's going right into the workshop, as you can see here. See that this showed up right here, right? The offer, and then basically I'm going to just stop that because there's going to be a sound issue. because it's the echo effect, because it's playing here and on there. So as you can see, this is kind of what it is, right? Now, I could also add a countdown timer at the top that would say only available for 5 days, and then now this on-demand event is only available for basically 5 days. How many people can we have on screen any one time during a live webinar? You can have 4 people and your presentation. Okay, up to 4 people and a presentation. How is the user experience different for instant on-demand replay versus just in time? You know what? There really isn't a difference of experience for that. Not much of a difference at all, actually. And they mostly have the same experience. So, so yeah, you guys, like there's, and then of course, in your analytics, this is where you can see all the data. You can see who registered, who showed, who didn't show. You can see I registered and I came and watched the replay. And right now this is a brand new webinar, so it's not really going to show me much, but it's going to on here, you'll see your people, the people that register. You have all of their data. This is like a CRM, you guys. Easy Webinar data is basically like having a CRM. And then we go even more into detail in the people section, because in the people section, you see all of your global actions, global information of the people who've come into any workshop, and you can filter them out by webinar sessions. You can filter them out by session dates. You can filter them out by attendance rate. You can filter them out by call to actions, like maybe they saw my book a call, right? And whoever clicked my book a call offer, so I can apply that filter, right? Or I can choose my main I can do free ebook, right? So I don't have any data on that, but as you can see, that's kind of how that works. And the webinar sessions, check it out. So if I wanted to go with automated gold, I could see which automated gold sessions. I could choose the session that I want to look at the data for. I can then choose, look, scheduled, instant replay, or just in time. So I can choose and whichever one of these I want to see data on, and I can then compare them and say, oh, we had more people that chose future schedule than instant replay. Oh, we had more people that chose just in time than instant replay. So do you see how cool that is? Like you can then narrow down what is going to make more sense for people's experience, right? And yeah, like that, this is the program. This is the program. And of course, in our library, you will upload, you can have your recordings of your previous sessions. You can also add videos here, add media. So you can actually add Vimeo or YouTube videos here if you have them and you want to use them. You could add your PDF files here so that you can actually stream these workshops, right? These are your, if you have PowerPoint and things like that, you can share a PowerPoint presentation from a webinar. It's one of the share options. You can share a video, you could share PowerPoint, just like I was showing you previously, right? So all of these things are doable in Easy Webinar. And some of the cool things that we have coming out is, with Easy Webinar, we have a whole CRM system that we're launching out as well. Now, I won't go into too much detail on that yet, but I do want to flag up a couple other things. Client workspace. I want to show this because you have a team and you want to add people in here that can then moderate your webinars, that can then do various things, build out your webinars. You can do that with the team section. So you can add your team members into this and build that up. Another thing which is interesting is workspaces. So let's say that you have clients that want to, where you maybe you are you are someone who's a marketer and you have an agency and you want to sell webinars. You can add your clients in here, right? You can like pay for their accounts. We'll give you a discount on that. and then you can charge whatever you want for your clients. And now you are the super admin, you're the administrator, and you can build out their webinars for them and generate revenue. Okay. So this is another cool thing. This is kind of like a marketing agency thing. So if you're a marketing agency, this is huge. All right. And you could just do this and it's at a discount. So it's pretty awesome stuff. How many of you guys are marketing agencies or have a marketing agency? Maybe anybody teaching marketing services, maybe not webinars, but doing other marketing services? Let me know. Yes, I'm not an agency, but I have some done for you services. Well, cool, Drew, also. So we've had people that have added 100 sub-user accounts. See, we have these add-on accounts. They're kind of, you can call them add-on accounts or sub accounts. You can add an unlimited number of these people in and charge whatever you want. So we might charge you $50 a month for each person or less. You could charge them $500 a month because you're now not only giving them the software, but the service as well. So that's what this does. And it's pretty amazing stuff. If you are, if you haven't done anything like this is cool stuff, right? Okay. I'm going to jump back in. I wanted to really go through, Easy Webinar in that way. So you guys could get a sense of it. I'm going to go back in, and we're going to continue where we left off. Okay. Here, and we're just going to continue on. Now, let me ask you a question. I showed you the secret, how to write a psychological content that creates a viral checkout, how to test your webinar, scale it using automation, and how to then build a complete webinar system inside of Easy Webinar in less than 10 minutes. Now, I went deeper because I wanted to show you all the bells and whistles that Easy Webinar has. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have AI webinars coming. We have a CRM system that is going to be included in this, a sales CRM system that we're going to include in this. It's just a lot of cool stuff coming down the pike. So I haven't even shown that to you. And I know sometimes it can feel like a lot of information being thrown at you. All right. But I promised you that that this is not when you come into Easy Webinar, you can streamline your success if you can follow some of the methodology. And also our team is here to support you. We have people here that are moderating, but also when you come in, everybody who comes in can have someone helping them. And this is what I'm going to show you in a second. Okay. So guys, who's ready to take things to the next level? If you are ready, put "I'm ready" in the chat. I just want to see, how many of you are, ready to take action. If you've wanted to take these steps, but you haven't, and maybe you need me to help with this process. I want the client workspace. That's awesome, Karen. Thank you so much for letting us know. It comes automatically when you come in. You'll just be able to create it. Here we go. I want to give you this deal. I want to offer you something that we don't offer anywhere else. We just put this deal together. It's an amazing deal. And the reason it's amazing is because it combines both all the pieces of the software that you need to run this holistic webinar experience that I just mentioned, right? From running live webinars, simulated live webinars, to evergreen webinars, and doing them all together, right? In one package and program. And that is what we call the Easy Webinar Professional Bundle. Okay. This is the all-in-one solution that includes not just the software, but tech training and expert guidance to support your needs to build the webinars that actually convert. We're going to do this. We're going to hold your hand and do this with you and for you. Okay. Now, basically, and I'm just going to change this to picture in picture so I can see this better. You're going to get a 75% discount savings, basically, when you come through today. And here's what this is all about. Now, normally this whole package would be at $5,674 because you'd be getting the professional package of Easy Webinar that I think alone is like $1,997. Like you go in, it costs that much. But then what we've decided to do is add this program that I have called the Sales Experience. Now, this is a new program where I don't know if you've been in my circle, but I have a program that I did called the Tribe Minded and Elite Webinar Mastery. This is an extension of that program, a new version of that program, which I'm going to be rolling out and doing live. Okay, you have an opportunity to come into that program by joining this. This is going to be basically going to be an 8-week program. I have module 1 or week 1. I want to just give you access to it, and this is valued at $1,197 because this is a 10,000 plus valued program. Okay, people have invested 10,000 plus into this program, but I'm going to give you access to week 1 in it when we do it. Okay, let me turn off my video so I could see the rest of the page. Okay, one-on-one funnel audit. Now, if you have a webinar, or maybe you don't, but you're trying to get one, we have we noticed that this was something a lot of people asked for. We will do an audit for you, meaning we'll do a full business sweep, look at what you have. We will either A, look at a webinar that you already have and improve it, or B, look at your business, suggest how you can build a webinar to actually start to grow your business in the right way, right? We'll review your story, your offer, your flow. You'll get a written performance roadmap and with both an expert and we'll give you some tips that you can use AI with to basically build this out yourself, right? This is valued at $2,000. We're rolling that in. And I just want to be clear, we're also rolling in 12 months of Easy Webinar Professional, okay? 12 months of Easy Webinar Professional. Again, this is valued at $1,980. This says 6 months, but I want to be clear on this. This is a typo. You go to the page, it will say 12 months because this was initially what we were doing, but I told the team last minute to give everybody access for 12 months. So instead of 6 months, it's actually 12 months of Easy Webinar Professional. Pro is just abbreviated, but you get access to this when you come in, okay? Yeah, this is a different offer than the trial. This is actually if you purchase today, okay? This is bypassing the trial. If you are already a trialer, if you purchase this, we will merge your trial to this offer, okay? Now, this is where it's very applicable for today. There's a fast action bonus for today. When you come through today, meaning on this workshop, and here's what we'll do. We will go till midnight tonight, okay? I will extend this offer midnight tonight. If you pick up this offer now, I will have a fast action bonus of a momentum call with an expert where you already get the one-on-one funnel audit, but now you actually get someone who is going to cut through confusion and help you get clear, personalized direction, where you're tapping into strategies to kickstart conversions, and you'll get more than one call here. Okay, like the one-on-one funnel audit, that's a call, but with the momentum calls, we're going to give you guys 3 additional calls. Okay, mark that down, team. 3 additional calls, and those calls are going to be tacked on to the one-on-one funnel audit. Okay, so momentum calls, again, the whole point of this is that you are going to be able to get people helping you every step of the way. And that's really my goal here. I want to make sure you guys get the help you need, okay? And so the link we should have shared, did you guys see the offer link? You should see it. And again, as I said, like in my sales experience in module 1, we're going to be talking about the frameworks and strategies to design high converting webinars, your content messaging and story framework, step-by-step system to craft a sales-driven presentation, and tools recommendations to simplify setup. In this also a bundle that we have one-on-one funnel audits, a private strategy call to review your story, offer, presentation flow. You walk away with knowing exactly what works, what's costing you sales, and how to fix it. Again, written performance roadmap, a detailed plan built from AI analysis and expert recommendations. So you have clear checklists of improvements, not just vague ideas. And I know I said 2 live coaching, live group calls, Q&As, but I said now it's going to be 3, okay? Direct access to expert coaches in a group setting where you can ask questions, troubleshoot challenges, and learn from others going through the same process, right? We're going to do 3 of those, all right? Again, 1 year of Easy Webinar Professional, okay? That's the premium platform, ready to use asset. And this I haven't told you yet, but we are going to roll in EasyCast, which is the tool we're using to stream to YouTube right now, but also Easy CRM, which is our built from the ground up CRM platform that integrates into Easy Webinar. It's a sales CRM system. It has some of the coolest features okay, when I try to purchase using the email I have with trial, it's telling me to use another email. Yeah, Tanner, can you use another email and we'll merge them? Would that be possible? Could you do that and we'll merge them together? Do you have another email you could use? All right, and make a note, team, to do that for Tanner. Thanks, Tanner. So guys, Easy CRM is our, as I said, built from the ground up CRM platform. And the power of this tool is that it's a sales CRM. So when, let's say leads drive in from a webinar, they automatically go into the CRM system. They are automatically, that you start to be able to tag them as hot, warm, and cold. And in this CRM system, there are features that you get commonly with a CRM tool. Like if you've had Go High Level, there are some features that are in this tool that are similar. If you've had Salesforce, there are tools that are in there. One thing that's in there that aren't in many is a lead finder. So we have in this system a way for you to use what I call reverse cold calling. And I would love to, I'd love to show you, maybe after this, after we do this, the slides, maybe I can dig in and show you the CRM. But I need a link for the CRM, guys, so I can show it. So team, maybe send me something so I can maybe show it. But the CRM, again, this is a product we're going to sell on its own. It's valued at, like, it has tremendous value because it is as I said, it's a full CRM system. You can get rid of other tools at that point, right? Anyway, I would love to show you at some point. If you have like a local market, doing any local marketing at all, this system actually has leads that you can find and then auto dial and start to call those leads and drive those people to a webinar. So anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but if you've ever wanted to manage a sales team, project manage your people, have a calendar, feature, have all the things that basically Go High Level has, that's what this has. And then we're going to roll it in when you come in. Okay. And again, you get also our pre-built funnels, story to sales script, high converting email sequences, landing page frameworks, webinar checklists. And again, the fast action bonus, exclusive when you join. Oh, okay. So 30-minute private momentum call with an Easy Webinar expert. But as I said, okay, so here's what this is. This is 2 live group coaching calls. Okay. But then instead of just 1 30-minute session, that's 3. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys 3 momentum calls. So team, make a note, 3 momentum calls. Okay. Is the CRM only for webinar use, or can we do daily emails using it? Yes, it is for anything. It's not just for webinars. We've realized that we want to offer more than just webinars. And so we are melding our product into more of a suite of tools. One of those suites is the CRM. And because you guys are coming in through the webinar system, we wanted to just give it to you. And yes, you can use it for anything. You can use it to integrate with your Gmail account and send off emails to those who are signing up for anything, right? It has a form builder, things like that. We're adding email marketing into it as well. But again, most of the time it was used as a proper sales CRM that manages both your team and your leads. Okay. And the reason we're specifically integrating it with Easy Webinar is so that you can drive your best leads into it and do follow-up calls. We believe that in 2026, the conversation is going to be more key. I love obviously selling and doing things off a webinar, but for high ticket experience, if you get people from a webinar and you book them into a calendar and you get them on a call, you can do that with this CRM system and Easy Webinar. You don't need Calendly. You don't need other tools. It has it all for you. Okay. Okay. To review, the cost today is $1,297. That's over 75% of a discount. Okay. Valued at $5,674. All right. Again, more of what you walk away from. Just to be a little clearer, a proven framework to craft webinars that actually convert, a sales-driven presentation built step by step, clear story and message that connects with your audience, one-on-one expert feedback on your funnel, story, and offer, a written performance roadmap with AI and expert insights, ongoing coaching and accountability through group calls, 1 year of Easy Webinar professional plan, which includes Easy Cast and Easy CRM. And I'm not even telling you the other stuff that we have rolling out. Anyway, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it's going to be some fun stuff. Done for you funnel templates, a fast action strategy call with an expert to unlock momentum. We're doing 3 of those now. And confidence, clarity, and the tools to launch and scale webinars. Okay. Is there a limit to contacts? Right now, we don't have a limit on contacts with the CRM system. We have a limit on the call. So the CRM system has a dialer, it has an auto dialer, so you can call people. It actually saves all those calls. You can take notes while it does it. Right now the cost is probably going to be mostly on the calls. But so we don't have a limit on contacts at this point. We have a limit on the call volume, right? So if that makes sense, right? Because that's a big cost. Not necessarily the contacts, right? It's more about the call volume. Okay. I hope that helped. Let's keep going. So this is for you if you've tried webinars before, but they didn't convert into sales. You're new to webinars and want a proven roadmap instead of trial and error. You're stuck with a webinar that gets views, but not buyers. You want hand-on coaching to sharpen your message and offer. You're ready to turn your story into a sales-driven presentation. You need the right tech and templates without wasting time on setup. And if you're looking for momentum, clarity, and accountability to move fast, this is for you. So who here wants a predictable lead system that generates new clients, leads, and sales every single month? If you guys are raising your hand, this is the time to come on through. And do let me know when you do come on through. I just want to say thank you, and applaud you, and excited to have you on the inside. We're excited to make you one of our newest success stories. We have a lot of successful people that are using our platform, thousands of people that are doing it every single day. How can we help? We've covered a lot, but now it's your turn. Yeah, as I said, share your questions in the chat. If you have any particular questions or anything on the offer, and guys, if you're sick of running webinars that don't sell, spending hours on content with no return, guessing what's missing instead of knowing, watching competitors convert while you stall out, this is why we're doing this, because you deserve webinars that actually sell, because every flop is money left on the table, because trial and error is killing your time and your momentum. And because with the right system, you can scale fast and with predictability. And we've done this with so many people. This was one of my coaching clients. He said, I enjoy Casey's skill as a coach. And by the way, you guys are coming in and you're going to get my training, right? We're going to be doing this. Some people are great at teaching webinars. Not everybody's good at transferring knowledge to other people. I was in Bali during the live group calls, and for me, it was 5 a.m., but I looked forward to getting up at 4:45. I love that you said that. Here's Eric and April Perry. Casey has changed our lives. We're doing 2 to 3 live webinars a week with a family and a job is tiring. With automated webinars, we don't have the pressure. The webinar is just running people. People are so grateful. We offer webinars now at 8 p.m. We couldn't do that when we had live webinars. Your program is a one-stop shop for everything pertaining to webinars. You gave us the layout, the template, the map of what we had to do. All we had to do is wake up and apply it. And when we do, it works. Anyone doing coaching or business online needs Easy Webinar and my program, Elite Webinar Mastery. That's what she came into. Thank you, Casey, for doing the work ahead of time and speeding it up. Here's Corey. He said with Easy Webinar, he had made 16,000 in 10 days. Again, these are actual results that people have gotten. I want to preface this that not all the results are the same, right? Again, you come in, the goal is that we can work together to try to help you get results. We have people that we've actually done work for. We have done for you clients. And, it took us probably 60 to 90 days to really get them going. But then when we were able to get them going, we had leads, we had traffic from ads, driving them into workshops and closing deals. And so it does take time. But some people can do it fast. Some people, it takes a little more time, depending on how much time you can commit to it. So Dale, he said, thank you. So after already made 16,000 in 10 days, then he said, PS almost made $100,000 so far with Easy Webinar, right? And again, we have people that say this all over. Casey is responsible for igniting my online training, leading to 7 figures in sales and growing every day. Everything Casey does quality. His teaching is authentic and actionable. His Easy Webinar software is working incredibly well in many of our businesses. He cares about his community getting results and was very hands-on while we were getting set up with his software. If we had any snags, we know that anytime we can get Casey, he'll come through. Again, there's more. We got Easy Webinar on Sunday, watch tutorials, set up my first webinar for today, and boom, $1,579 in sales in a 1-hour webinar. Easy to use, great functionality, had no issues. Thanks for the easy response. We have more of these. Hey, Casey, I just want to let you know I've made over 107,000 since last August using Easy Webinar. Here is John. I would like to personally thank you for your awesome product. Easy Webinar is contributing to about 90% of my income since I started using it in November. I'm making about 20,000 a month without fail. I was making around 5K before. So big thanks. Feel free to reach out. If you need any ideas to make the webinars even better. Here's Lisa Jackson. And this was in our Facebook group, guys. These are people posting. Look forward to my next successful webinar with Easy Webinar. I'm so glad I bought the software. It made my life so much easier. And I'm really starting to enjoy hosting my training webinars. Next step, automated webinars, right? So again, if you start today, by next week, I think you're going to you'll know exactly how to run a webinar that converts into sales. In 30 days, you'll have your first sales-driven presentation live. In 3 months, the goal is that you'll be running webinars with confidence and predictability. And in 6 months, you'll be looking back and wondering why you ever struggled with tech, funnels, or messaging. That is my goal for you guys, okay? Once you start today. Because if you don't start today, what's going to happen? You're going to spend 6 months to a year in the same boat that you are now, where things may not be moving, right? You might be stuck. And, I know this because I've been in that stuck situation before where if not taking an action, thinking that something will improve, it oftentimes creates a deadly cycle that we seem to see ourselves in, right? And oftentimes we think, well, you know what, I'll wait tomorrow to invest in this thing. But by waiting, oftentimes, you're going to lose more than the cost of the thing that will help you to get there, right? And that's why we have a no-brainer offer of only, $1,200 or so, because we want you to take action. We didn't, with when you get into this tool, as I showed you already, people are making 20,000 a month. Some people were making 20,000 a day using this same technology, right? Driving traffic to it. And so we wanted to give you the ability to do it and use it and get that success. So we've lowered the costs lower than the value by which people have it. This is a sales tool. This is a sales and marketing tool that is also a content tool, right? You create content with it. You can basically leverage a full-blown program from start to finish by using webinars as a lead tool, and then using webinars to coach your customers, right? And when you really think of it like that, you know, the value is you could be running a full business that's generating $300 to $3 million annually on a thing that only costs you $1,200 annually, right? Do you see the power of that? So that's why we're saying sign up below. You know, Easy Webinar, you have all these tools inside. You have a webinar registration, thank you page, replay page. You have all the email automations. You can host live webinars, evergreen webinars, and simulated live events, stream multiple social media platforms, webinar performance and reporting, right? CRM, the CRM system, you know, EasyCast is right here, you know, so, and it's just so much more. So, you know, and the thing is, you'll be able to get rid of stuff. So maybe a landing page software, you won't need that because it's built into Easy Webinar. Email autoresponder, you won't need that because we're giving you a CRM. Live webinar software, that's what Easy Webinar does. Automated webinars, that's what Easy Webinar does. You don't need Photoshop. Everything is built into the system. You don't need WordPress. We will host your webinars for you. You don't need even a website hosting because you drive traffic from Facebook ads or other ads into your webinar. Your webinar can be your website. Oftentimes people don't even realize this, but when some of my best, let me tell you some tricks. When I first started out, I didn't really have my website up. So what I did is I used our system, and I drove everybody to CaseyZeman.com, and I made CaseyZeman.com the page of my webinar. And you could do this with Easy Webinar because we have white label. You know, we basically can do CNAME, and CNAME allows you to take whatever webinar funnel and have it on your website, right? So maybe, you know, your name is TannerKennedy.com, and instead of, you know, a website that doesn't have, you know, that gives people a lot of different options, you just have people go into TannerKennedy.com and they see a workshop that they can sign up to. And you drive everybody to that workshop from YouTube, from social media growth, anything, always to the workshop. The workshop becomes the heavy lifter. Boom, boom, boom. And you don't even need a website to do all that, right? You don't need a programmer, designer, webinar moderator. You don't need any of that. And with the evolution of AI, with what we're doing, there's going to be even more cool features that are coming down the pike. So, you know, the honest truth is, many Easy Webinar members save over $1,000 or more the second they switch to Easy Webinar. Sorry, there was a typo that was tripping me up. But, and that is the truth, because not only are you able to generate way more than what the cost is of the solution, but you can then get rid of tools you don't need because of the solution we have. I think it's all about simplifying nowadays. As I said, there are businesses that are making $100 million with one person manning it. One person or two people or three people that are running their business. And it's because they're leveraging systems like this, and they're leveraging the power of AI. Just imagine you had a webinar that drove people to a workshop, that then from the workshop, they could sign up to get on a call. That call that they signed up for was not you. It was not a human. It was AI. And they got on a call with an AI agent who then either closed them, because now they came from a workshop that already indoctrinated them, but the workshop, and now going to the AI salesperson, now they're making sales. You know, the other option is driving to the AI person. That AI person books them into your calendar. So that AI person then drives them into an actual salesperson. And if you do that, you probably only need one sales rep who can now take those calls over and over and over again, or it's you, and you could be running this business. You don't need a lot of people to do it. Okay. There's a whole content strategy, obviously, that can be done with AI as well. I'm actually not going to go into that. But if you come into this, I will be sharing with you some of the things that I've been doing that has grown my YouTube account. I've grown my YouTube account to 75,000 subscribers in the last 30 days using the power of AI in content creation. And I'd love to show you how to do it. We're driving I had 23,000 clicks to my website from some of the things that I did in promoting from YouTube. So YouTube is the thing I'm really stressing more of now, and I'd love to show you more of how you could do that too. So again, more people. Just finished my first webinar using Easy Webinar after switching from, let's just say, another platform. It was amazing. My first sale came in, no tech issues. Great job, KCZ and Easy Webinar team. I think a lot of us, we get caught up in the little details and technicalities of a newer system and forget the big picture of how this platform delivers on value. Yeah, because you spend X amount of dollars, you can make 10 to 100 times more than the cost of the platform in the first place. And we wanted to do that for you. Again, if you guys already have an Easy Webinar account, what you can do is purchase under a different email, and then a team member, I will let the team member flag them up and say, merge these accounts, okay? So that there is no confusion, okay? So I would suggest doing that. And then you can come on in. Again, if all this did was finally get you a webinar funnel that was profitable, $1 in, $2 out, would it be worth it to you? If all it did was help you share your message with more people, would that be worth it to you? Maybe stream out this session to YouTube. Right now, this is streaming out to YouTube, and 300 people are going to be watching this. And I can leverage that. I can put the registration link or a link to the offer directly into that YouTube video after, right? Or I can encourage people from YouTube to come into this workshop and tell them, hey guys, we're going to end the broadcast in YouTube. I'm going to bring everybody into Easy Webinar, right? If all it did was give you the ability to cancel all your monthly tools you're currently using to get a live and automated webinar system running, would it be worth it for you? That's all you have to ask. You just have to ask those questions, because one sale of your program will make up the cost of this per annual, right? One sale of your mid-ticket program, and many of you have a high-ticket program. So I think you understand the value to it. So what are you waiting for? That's my final question. Sign up and start today. Insert link here. I love it. Yeah, insert link is actually offer. So you can see the offer. So I do want to find out though, do you guys have any questions? I want to know if you have any questions. Now is the time to ask. Okay, we're coming up on 2 hours. And again, tonight, you have till tonight to get the fast action bonus. Okay, you have till tonight to get the fast action bonus. Decline. What is the renewal price? That's a great question. So you get this for 12. You get this for 12 months. And let me ask support, what is the renewal price after 12 months? So the price is $12.97, I think, right? What's the renewal price? Yeah, the renewal price is $1,970 after a year. Okay. So yeah, that's what it will be. But we're thinking in that year, you can align everything you need, leverage the tools, EasyCast, the CRM system. We're giving you a year basically of finding results and success, and we're wanting to hold your hand to get there for a year before you pay the actual full price of Easy Webinar itself at that price. And even, I'll say this, even if we lock in, even if prices increase, because we're going to be rolling in the CRM, we're going to be rolling in a content studio. I haven't even talked about this, but if you come in now and you renew, that will be a part of what you get as well. In a year from now, the platform is going to have AI. It's going to have different functionality. Like Easy Webinar is going to be where you create the webinar. It's going to have a studio where you can create content. Okay. It's going to have the CRM. They're all going to be connected, but they can all be separate that you can create from. And there's going to be AI webinars where you can build webinars faster with AI. That is all going to be there. It's all going to be there sooner than later. It's actually, a lot of this stuff is happening in the next 2 months, not 2 years, 2 months. So again, the renewal price is that $1,970. Coming in now, we're softening it up for you. We're lowering it so more of you can come in and get results and start seeing growth in your business right now. So great question. Thanks, Drew. Anyone else for a question? Let me know. And for those who are coming in, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Tanner, we'll merge. Yes. All right. Any other questions, guys? It's coming to the top of the hour. And so if you don't have any other questions, I'm probably going to end this session. So again, let me know if you have any other questions. I do want to say thank you to those who came. Gabor, Rudolph, Mia, Leo, Elaine, Shannon, Rosanna, Rex, Nadia, Brian, Sharon, Debbie, Gary, BH James, Missy, Dimitro, Joe, Drew, Alina, Katie, Frank, Steve, Britta, Jeremy, Bill, Fred, and all the others who came. Thank you guys for being here. Again, any questions, feel free to ask. To reiterate, the fast action bonus is still going to be available till tonight, midnight, my time, okay, which is PST. And the get access now is clickable and you can see the offer on that page. Thanks again, everyone. Yes, please reach out to support@easywebinar.com for any further questions. We appreciate you. And thank you, Katie. We'll see you guys soon. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.